If you have opted to have your new Majestic trees delivered, they will arrive on one of our custom lorries where they will be offloaded carefully ready for you to plant. Your tree's root system will arrive wrapped in hessian and held in place with a wire net, both of which are biodegradable. This is to protect the root system for transport and must be left in place for planting. Preparation is key. Even though our delivery teams take great care whilst transporting your trees, it is a good opportunity whilst they're laying down to inspect the tree and remove any ties. Stand the tree up in its final planting position and find the face of the tree. Ensure you have all the recommended equipment to hand: a ground mat or tarpaulin, post rammer or club hammer, tree stakes, a crossboard, a tree cushion and tie, screws and drill, peat-free tree planting compost, a tape measure and spirit level, a half-moon edging tool, and a fork and a spade. Measure the diameter of your root ball. The hole you need to dig needs to be 1.5 times the diameter and the same depth as the root ball. This information can be supplied in advance if required. If you are planting in turf, cut out an appropriately sized area depending on the size of the tree using a half-moon edging tool. Lift a shallow layer of turf and roots with either a turfing iron or sharp spade. Mark out and excavate a square planting hole no deeper than the height of the root ball, placing the soil on the adjacent board or tarpaulin. Break up any clods as you go. Research has shown the establishment and longevity of the tree is far greater when planted in a square hole, as the roots are able to equally break out to the corners. Assess the soil type when planting the tree, as this will provide you with valuable information that will influence the aftercare, namely the watering. Check that you have excavated your tree pit to the same depth as the root ball. You do not want to dig any deeper unless you are installing drainage to prevent waterlogging in a known position. Fork the size of your tree pit to help the roots break out into the parent soil. Place the tree in the centre of the tree pit, checking that the root flare is level with the surrounding soil. Ameliorate the backfill soil with peat-free tree planting compost, mixing thoroughly before backfilling. Tread down the soil backfill in layers to ensure it is adequately but not overly compacted. There should be no large gaps or air pockets. Once the tree has been 2/3 backfill, apply tree planting fertiliser as a base dressing around the tree. The rate should be stated on the packaging of the fertiliser. Backfill the remainder of the tree pit before giving a final tread. The most important part of tree planting process is ensuring the tree is at the correct level. Planting trees too deep will inevitably result in the failure to establish. The root flare, sometimes called root collar, should be level with the surrounding soil. The root flare is found at the base of the trunk, where it widens and connects to the root system. It is not a problem if you can see the tops of some surface roots, but they should not be completely out of the ground. If you are planting a quarter or half standard tree, you should use an oblique angled stake. The stake should be inserted outside of the root ball and facing into the prevailing wind. Here we are using a stake and crossboard technique. In a sheltered garden, the orientation of the stakes is less important. However, if planting in an exposed position, the stakes should be parallel in line with the direction of the prevailing wind. Mark the position of the stakes by aligning the centre of the crossboard with the trunk. Knock the tree stakes in straight using a post rammer or club hammer, standing back regularly to check for straightness. The stakes should finish approximately 1/3 of the height of the overall tree. Check the tops of the tree stakes are level by using a spirit level. Hold the crossboard in place, and if the tree is straight, mark on the top of the crossboard where the trunk needs to be fixed. Thread a length of strap through both slots on the tree cushion, leaving 5 cm as a tail to protect the trunk from chafing on the screw heads. Fix the cushion to the crossboard using 2 screws, ensuring they pass through the strap behind the cushion. Fix the crossboard to the stakes using 2 screws either side. Make sure the 5 cm tail is tucked behind the trunk to protect it. Pass the strap around the trunk and diagonally across the back of the crossboard. Repeat again on the underside of the crossboard, finishing with a vertical pass around the board to hold in place. The strap should not be too loose so the tree can rock around, but equally not too tight that it begins to constrict the trunk. Leave a few centimeters extra on the strap to allow for future adjustments as the tree grows. Fix in place with 4 screws, 2 on the top of the crossboard and 2 underneath. Once you are happy that the tree is fixed securely, you will need to give it a very thorough watering in. Not only does a root ball require watering, but you'll also need to water the backfill to eliminate any air pockets and initiate root to soil contact. It is important that this initial watering is thoroughly completed in all weather conditions and in all seasons.